another episode of Tell Me More with me, Tony Moore. Hopefully you enjoyed my previous interview with Laganja Estranja. Absolutely love and adore her. But now it's time to start styling and fashion with the one and only Emmy Award winning Art Conn. Now, you may not be familiar with the fact that Art does the styling for RuPaul's Drag Race, which is everyone's favorite show, especially on Friday nights on VH1. So we're going to chit chat and kiki with him about all things styling and all things fashion and all things hip. So let me get Art in the building so that we can chat. Hold on, here we go. It's coming in. Art.
Hi.
Ah!
Hello.
Hi. Look at
How
you.
are
You
you?
combed your wig for me.
What'd you say?
I said you combed your wig for me.
Just a little bit. Just a little
Just,
bit.
just a
Business
little.
up top, party down below. What's going on?
You know, just quarantining. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it through. Yeah.
You just have to take it day by day.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a freelancer, so this kind of life is not that strange to me to kind of have to be, entertaining yourself sometimes on days where you're not working or weeks when you're not working. So.
Exactly. I keep telling people it's the staycation I've asked for. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably a very good kind of reset for everybody, right?
Yes, definitely a reset and a recharge because we're so on the go. And, you know, our jobs in the industry are very taxing. Like, it's really long hours and everything like that. So sometimes it's
Oh,
nice
yeah.
just to kind of sit.
Right. I mean, everybody thinks if you're in the entertainment industry, it's always super, glamorous all the time, and
Yeah.
not true.
Yes.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, long, like you said, long hours, long days. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I wouldn't trade it for anything, but.
I know. That's what I always say too. There was never a plan B for me. This was always plan A. Like I was like, I'm going to be successful in the entertainment industry some way, somehow. And so I don't know what else to do if I'm not
Well,
in the industry.
it's funny because you say that, but for me, this was my plan B. I was
Was
originally,
it?
I came out to LA to be an actor.
Okay.
And I very quickly found out that that was not what I was meant to do. So it was just not I couldn't take it. I couldn't take it. It
Yeah.
was too much. It was too much. So I applaud all of those people like yourself who are in this business who persevere and stay strong. I think I've over the years I've messaged you, been like, Tony, stay strong. Like, I'm very
Yes.
proud of people like yourself who managed to do it and keep your head held high. I couldn't do it.
Girl, let me.
So
It's a struggle.
it's a different kind of struggle. Yeah, it's a struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so then, how did you get into styling and costuming?
Well,
Did,
initially, when I came out here to be an actor to pay the bills, I got a job in retail.
okay.
And I ended up working at a very high-end women's shoe store. And I mean, it was a crazy time because we would have clients come in. I would work with Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, the Dixie Chicks, Paula Abdul. I mean, random, completely amazing. Angelina Jolie would come in and buy shoes from me. So it was
Oh
really
my God.
strange to be interacting with all of these really, at the time, high-end celebrities. And equally, they're high-end stylists.
Yeah.
And I remember asking, it was just a lot of conversation with them, with the stylists, being like, "Oh, I didn't know, this is a job. This you get paid to do like this. That's crazy." And
Yeah.
after a while, a few of them started to say to me, "You should really think about pursuing this. You're really good. Like when
Yeah.
my clients come in, you treat them really well. You know how to work with a celebrity. You know how to talk to them. You know how to find what they like." So,
Yeah.
yeah, it just kind of. One day I was like, well, I should probably, it's either that or I'm going to be in retail for the rest of my life. I need
Right.
to do something that, is exciting. And it was exciting and new. And I tried it and I never looked back.
Yeah.
So,
It's
yeah.
it's so it's so funny how, like, because I moved here for acting, and hosting fell into my lap. Like, hosting was nowhere in my trajectory at all. Like, I didn't think of it as a career. I had never done it before until one day I was asked to do it, and I was like, okay. And then I was like,
Right.
oh, what is this? I kind of like it. And then here we are, years later.
Right. Well, that's why I tell people too, especially people who like want to get into my field. I say, try everything because you never know. You never know what you're gonna like. Like there's certain people in my industry, for example, who are like, I only want to do high-end editorials. I'm like, okay,
Hmm.
that's great, but you may really love doing commercials. You may
Yeah,
really love doing music videos. There's so
yeah,
many facets of my career that you can find your niche in, your niche, like
yeah.
of what you really like, and try it all. And like for you, yeah, try it and see. You never know.
Yeah,
You
and
never know.
you've literally done so much from TV to tours to music videos to,
Yeah.
you know, live, events and red carpets and things like that. Like, what do you find that certain events are tougher than others? Like, is it tougher to style someone for a red carpet versus like a shoot or something like that? Like, do you
Um,
find it becomes difficult?
red carpets are hard only because there's just a lot of attention in a very short amount of time. In that time that they walk the red carpet, there's just a lot of attention, and you get
Yeah,
immediate reaction. You get immediate feedback. You get immediately, like, is your client on the best dress list or on the worst dress list? Are people, loving what she's wearing? Are they not loving it? When you're doing it for like television, you never know. So you don't know how it's going to look on camera, and your fingers are crossed, but you don't
yeah.
get that immediate reaction sometimes, and that's difficult sometimes because you kind of want that feedback. You kind of want that, but at the end of the day, you have to be really happy with what you've done. The talent has to be happy with what you've done. um,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, photo shoots are different because you get kind of the feedback immediately, but it's mostly from the photographer or from the editor, and they're a little bit
yeah,
more fun. Usually you can experiment and you can say, let me just try doing this, let me try this, and we'll take a couple shots, and they're like, no, that didn't work, and then you change it. Red
yeah.
carpet, they just go,
It,
and you're
it's go
you're like
and good luck.
holding your breath. Yeah, you're holding your breath, hoping things don't fall out or break
Yes.
or split. And we've all had it happen. I've had it happen in my business, but you pray that it, and you try to prevent it from happening
Yeah.
more often than not. But anyway.
Do you have a process when you're working with a client and like you know them, you see them, like how do you decide, okay, like what their style should be for this event or for this shoot or something like that? Like is there a process to it all?
I mean, I think the process is different based on your relationship. So for someone new that I've never worked with before, the process
Hmm.
is a little different. For me, I try to do as much research as I can about what they've worn in the past, what they look good in, what their body looks like. Does their weight fluctuate? Are they
Hmm.
like big on one, and like 3 months later they're really skinny? Like how does that work for them? And
I call
um,
that pulling a Janet. Like like Janet Jackson, she will be nice and fit for tour life, and then you catch her off tour and she
yeah,
is like quarantine eating.
she doesn't care. Yeah, she don't care. She likes to eat. Yeah,
Yeah,
so you have to kind of take all of that information. It's like a detective. You're gathering a lot of facts and information, and they're giving you their sizes, and you have to like say now, I don't think she's a 6 because based on this picture that I'm looking at, she's not a size 6. So you have to
yeah,
be smart. And then I also have a conversation with the talent, and I ask them, what do you like? What do you feel comfortable in? What are things that you are not comfortable with? Are you not comfortable showing your arms? Are you not comfortable showing your back? Do you wear a lot of undergarments, like, Spanx? Because if
mm,
you do, that's going to change what we can do for you. We can't
yeah,
show back. We can't have backlists. We can't have, like, there's certain things. So it's a conversation with them. And then what I try to do is take kind of what they've given me and the information they've given me, and I have my kind of thought and creative process, and I try to just meld the two.
Yeah.
And hope that, you know, I mean, when I go to a fitting with a client that's brand new, I'll have stuff on the rack that I know are tried and true. You know, like I know that they love this brand. I know that they love this style. And then I'll have something a little bit crazier that's probably not going to work, but I want them to just see it. And then I'll have stuff that's kind of in the middle of the road. And because I always want to keep kind of pushing them, and I want to kind of keep them seeing something new and creative.
Yeah.
A lot of times I'll say, like in the fittings, my clients laugh because I'll say, I call it, try this on for shits and giggles. Like, let's just try this on. We're probably not going to love it. It's going to look terrible, but let's try it. And I will tell you there are a number of times where, yes, it has looked like crap, but then there's times where we've been like, okay.
It's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, this is new for you. Like, this is a new silhouette or a new color, and maybe with the right shoe and the right hair, this is the one. So that's kind of my process, I guess. Long story short.
What was your first like styling gig? Like you kind of floating in from retail into this, and like now it's like, all right, first job, we're doing it. What was it, and what were your feelings while doing it?
Oh gosh, I think one of my very first that was kind of the most that I was on a big scale was we did, I don't know, I'm sure you're familiar, but I helped style the gallery portraits for the entire cast of Days of Our Lives. So I was a huge fan. I would come home during college. I would make sure that I took classes, so I had lunch so I could watch my stories, you know?
Yes.
And Days of Our Lives was it. So I was there, and I literally saw the entire cast of Days of Our Lives come through, and I was dressing them. I saw all the guys in their underwear, and I was just, it was amazing. I was overwhelming. It was overwhelming. Because, you know, I was working with people who at the time were the new characters, and then Marlena walked in, you know, or what, and I was like, oh my, like the hours and hours that I've spent watching the show. That was kind of one of my biggest, that was the biggest first kind of thing. My first production that I've ever worked on that was really big was American Idol. That was my biggest. Still probably, as far as viewership goes, still probably my biggest styling gig.
I totally know the feeling that you had with the cast of Days, because, you know, I've been a fan of Days of Our Lives since I was 14. And then, like, I started hosting events with them, and then now I do an after show on AfterBuzz TV. And I remember when Deidre Hall and Marlena Evans came in for us to interview her. She's
very like royal, right? Like she's very like she has a presence to her. She has a presence.
But she doesn't want you to treat her as such. Like we told her like, oh my God, we're so nervous. She was like, why? Like, it's just me. And I'm like, but you're Deidre Hall. You're Marlena Evans. Like, you are Days of Our Lives. You know what I mean? Like it's and I felt like that even with Eileen Davidson, who played Kristen. I was just like, oh. So I can only imagine.
I think I was really excited about Marlena, and then Bo and Hope. Bo and Hope were everything to me. And so at one moment, like Bo was standing there in his underwear looking at me. He's like, okay, what do you want me to wear? And I'm like, this is crazy. This is crazy. But it was so much fun. And they're also, I give props to those people who work in daytime television. They are the hardest working, and they're so professional, and they're lovely. And so that was like it was a really good introduction into this world, because I was so nervous, but they were, like you said, they were like, calm down, not a big, like, we're gonna have fun. This is all good. And I think it was a good kind of intro into my world, into this world.
So
anyway.
what with American Idol, you style the contestants
I
or
help style the contestants, yes.
Yeah. Like how I feel like there's so many personalities to kind of deal with, because
you have no idea.
everyone has like a different style and a different vibe and a different like.
You have no idea. Yeah.
Like, how do you, as a stylist, we talked about your process, but now you're in this thing now with all of these different types of people. Like, how did you deal with that? And were there some contestants that you helped kind of shift their style a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, I think so many of them. I mean, it was interesting because, like, you would have people like, for example, Adam Lambert, who came in and was like, this is my style, this is how I dress, this is my look. And my kind of role to him was never to be like, oh, scrap all that. It was, how do we take what you've got and what you know? Because he's really fashion smart and savvy. How do we take that and what you know and just kind of take it from here, just up here a little bit, and a little cleaner, if you will, for American television. And you know, we went from him and his like leather jackets and leather pants, and then by the end he was wearing white Dolce & Gabbana tuxedos, you know. So we kind of had this arc with him. There's other people that come in that, you know, they are literally plucked from nowhere town, you know, in the middle of America, who their biggest kind of exposure to fashion at that time, back in those days before there was a lot of online, would be like maybe a Macy's or maybe a Dillard's if they were lucky, you know. So it was a lot of like American Eagle, you know.
Oh, trust me, I lived in American Eagle.
Yeah, but like guys in particular were very nervous about changing their look. Girls would be more excited because they now had access to really pretty dresses and pretty things and things that they saw in magazines. You know, girls had a different kind of perception. Guys were a little like, "Whoa, what are you trying to do to me? What are you trying to? Oh, you want me in skinny? You want me in skinny jeans?" Like, that was the funny thing, is like they never knew, but a lot of the guys, you know, they would come in with these like oversized boot cut jeans, and by the end they were wearing skinny jeans, and I just would slowly, over the course of a few weeks, slim down their jeans. And before they knew it, they were like, wait, these jeans, I'm like, and I'm like, look how, and they're like, oh my God, they look so good on camera. I'm like, like, for example, with Taylor Hicks, everyone thought Taylor Hicks that season had lost a lot of weight. He hadn't lost weight. We just bought him clothes that fit him. You know, that was it. He was used to, I called it the box. I said, Taylor, all of your clothes look like a square. You would hold up a shirt from a store and it was literally a square. I said, you need to get tapered. So once we did that, once we did all that, people were like, oh my gosh, he's lost weight. No, just wearing clothes that fit him.
And I think we forget that, like, within our own personal style, we're so kind of like getting the next size up because we want it to fit, or we want to, you know, we want to hide things and things like that. And sometimes when you just like wear very tapered things and stuff, you create a whole new look for yourself.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, absolutely. I think that you know, how you want to look also when you're sitting at home in a quarantine situation is very different than when you're going out and you want to look a certain way. It needs to look put together, and that's my biggest gripe. It's really hard for me to watch like a lot of television because I'll be like so angry sometimes where I'm like, why didn't they just get him a blazer that fit? Like, why don't they just take, he looks terrible, you know? And that's my biggest gripe about fashion on TV, is that it's a lot of times it doesn't fit it. It doesn't look right.
I noticed
that.
It's so weird how we watch TV because, like, for me, sometimes, like, working in casting, well, background casting, I would sometimes pay attention to the background actors more so than I would pay attention to, like, the foreground people. But, like, I'm sure for you, you like looking at people who are like, you know, like their style or like their outfits. Like, I'm sure watching TV is more of a, can be more of a runway show than like
Yes.
anything.
Yes. And I mean, there are times where sometimes if their clothes are so bad, I'll be like, I'll tell my friends, I'm like, I can't watch this anymore. Because I get so distracted and I get so kind of angry and worked up about it
Yeah.
that, you know, that I have to be like, I can't anymore. Like, it's terrible. And I notice things and I point things out, and people who are watching TV with me are like, can you just, like, I just want to enjoy the show. I'm like, I know, I do too, but look at his shirt, it's not ironed. And they're like, oh.
Is there a show, whether it's on now or in the past, that you like just gag over the costumes and the styling and everything, that it just makes you go, oh my God, it's so good?
There are, I mean, I think like my friend Danny is Erica Jane's stylist.
Oh,
And I think what she has done with her on that show of The Housewives is unparalleled.
yes.
And I think, I'm not a huge Housewives fan, but I think what my friend has been able to do with Erica, just, you know, when she showed up in Japan and that latex and like that, I'm just like, it's just perfection. It's perfection.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's the kind of stuff that I look for. And I think most of the time those women are all very put together. I mean, I love Dorit's fashion. I think sometimes a lot of people err on the side of brand names. So they'll buy something just because it says Chanel on it, but I'm like, it's not cute. You know, like, there's a lot of things that would look great on you that are not Chanel, and that would look better. But the Housewives, I think, kind of, some of them have amazing style and amazing fashion that I like to see. I mean, I think what excites me, I mean, not to like transition this conversation, but what excites me seriously every week is watching Drag Race and seeing what these women, these drag queens, are able to give us. I mean, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it on television.
No. And I mean, before Drag Race, I was a huge fan of Project Runway, and like seeing what they put on the runway was amazing. But I was always a lover of drag and always a fan of drag. And so when Drag Race came out, to see what these queens like came up with, I'm just always like gagging. Like, the runway is my favorite part of the show because you want to see what these queens are wearing. You want to see how innovative they are. You want to see how creative they are. And so it's like completely everything. Well, speaking of Drag Race.
Yeah. See, I gave you the transition. Yes, go ahead.
You did. And it was so lovely. I appreciate that. And I adore you for that. How is it working? Like, I feel like being at the show is already in awe, like seeing the main stage and all that kind of stuff. But like working on the show and also winning an Emmy for it, congratulations, mind
Thank you.
Like, how is it for you working on the show? Because you were a fan of the show before coming on.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was a dream come true, and it's everything that you would think it would be. I mean, that's the only way I can describe it. That it's literally, it is kind of pretty much what you see is what you get. The runway part is always the most exciting for me. To see looks, especially if there's a fashion queen among them that you know you're like, oh, she's gonna keep turning it. Like I think this season, Gigi, who turns it every week, and what I love about her nod to like movies where she did the Heathers theme, and she's done. I think like, you know, oh my God, like I love that kind of exciting moment, and it's kind of hard because you're just in awe of what these girls are able to pull off and do, and you know, it's kind of inspiring. And then, you know, to see Ru, I knew Ru mostly initially as a man, and so the first time that I saw Ru do the pose in the runway and walk down, and in between the breaks that very first day, he looked over me, he goes, "Hi, Art," and I was like, "Oh my God!" Like it was just, it's like seeing God, not really, but you know, it's kind of like, it's exactly that feeling that you get when you watch the show.
I feel like
it is what you get. It's what you get.
Yeah, I feel like the person who can best describe how any of us will feel if we were ever at Drag Race is Leslie Jones. Like
and that's why to me she was one of the best guests. I mean, she acted like all of us would. Like, you know, I was working there, so I kind of had to be like, bite my tongue a bit, and act cool at first. You know, one of my first things was, you know, Ru wanted me to work with Michelle. And he's like, I'm going to have Michelle call you, and I want you two to talk, and I see if you vibe, and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I was back home in Ohio, and Michelle called me, and I just remember thinking, oh my God, Michelle Visage is calling me. And I was so just in awe of talking to her on the phone, and with her, exactly what you see is what you get too. Like, she is the most loving, most caring, most supportive, most mothering, nurturing person. And so to talk to her on the phone and kind of get an idea of where she was headed with her look and how we can get there together, and it was just, I'm a huge fan, you know. So it's just crazy. It's crazy to be literally dropped in the middle of it, and see how things work and see how the show works and be there. You know, to be there when the whole mask with Valentina thing happened, I was probably standing 30 feet away. So to see it all happen in real life, you're like, yeah, that's what happened. You know, like, it's pretty great. It's pretty awesome. It's a definitely, you know, check off the bucket list of life kind of job.
Yeah. Do you have because you have the task of styling the guests and the judges on the show?
I help the guests. A lot of times the guests will bring things.
Yeah.
A lot of times the guests will say, oh, this is what I'm thinking. What do you, and then I'll go in and say, oh, I think this will work with this backdrop, or, you know, with the backdrop of the show, or I think this is more flattering for you on camera, or whatever. Sometimes we've had it where they will email me pictures like, I'm thinking about wearing this dress, that, you know, and I'm like, oh, that'll look beautiful, but bring options because you never know. I help the guests. I mostly do the judges. Michelle is the one that I mostly kind of work closely with. Very closely. Carson and Ross, I help guide them and pick out things, and I try to make the entire judging panel look like they're all going to the same party. That's how I put it. You know what I mean? I try to make them look cohesive and look like they're going to the same party, and they're all bringing their A game at that time. And, you know, I want them to feel comfortable too. I don't want Michelle to get up there and be in a dress and go look and go, oh, I feel like a schlub, you know, like I don't compared to what these other people, like, you have to make sure it all works and it all blends.
Well, it definitely works, and I've always like because Michelle has been like a staple for many years on the show, and I always wonder if like there's ever a time where any of them, any of the judges or guests, because it's Drag Race, they're like, I just want to be as extra as possible. Can we make that happen?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's why I will tell them, if they ask, I'll say, you know, tell them to bring something that they feel comfortable in, like comfortable, not meaning like pajamas, but
Yeah.
something they feel kind of comfortable in, and then bring something that is a little crazy. But often we get a lot of people who will bring something in and go, I bought this a long time ago and have it on, I have it on a hanger, and I can't ever think of a place I would ever wear it. But, and I was like, well, here's the place, baby.
Here's the place. This seems very appropriate.
Yeah, because no one's ever going to judge you here for being extra. No one, you're never going to get the like, what is she doing? Like, they're going to be like, okay.
Yeah. And I've always liked, like, the judges always look, like you said, like they're all going to the same place, they're all going to the same party, but also you can tell their individual styles and aesthetics and how it works for them. I've always thought, I used to always wonder what it's like to style Michelle because she sits right next to Ruth. So it's like, how over the top can she be? And it's like, do you have to see what Rue is wearing to know like what you can put Michelle in?
Interesting question. I don't always know what Rue's gonna wear. Most of the time I don't know. So there have been many times that, and I wish I could show you pictures, but there have been many times where I get inspired and I'm like, okay, Michelle, you're gonna wear this today, and she puts it on, and then Rue walks out. And it was like the two of us have had this conversation. Like she wore one time, I think, a dress that had like a peplum top. And so she's sitting down behind the desk, and Rue does his, walk up, and Rue's wearing a peplum dress, and I was like, oh. And people were like, did you know? And I was like, no, I didn't. We don't have. There's one in particular that Rue wore. I hope to find the picture someday. But Rue wore this beautiful silver gown, I think, that had black stars all over it. And that day, for whatever reason, Michelle and I decided to do black and silver with a big star belt buckle. And people were like, did you guys? I said, we had no idea that this was going to happen.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't try to ever really think about what Rue is wearing. I try to just make Michelle be as fabulous as Michelle can be.
Yeah.
Which isn't hard because she's fabulous.
Yeah, she always looks so good and so amazing in what she's wearing, and it's like, again, you look at everyone, it's like everyone looks really good sitting up there. Like I feel like there hasn't been a time where you're like, oh, I don't know about that one.
Well, I think too, if you look at a lot of, I mean, not to toot my own horn, or not to, polish my own Emmy, for example. But if you look at some other shows that have a judging panel, there are a lot of times where you're like, even like America's Got Talent, for example, you look and you're like, Heidi Klum looks amazing, but Simon's wearing a ratty t-shirt, Howie Manziel's wearing like some casual jacket they're not all rising to the level.
Yeah.
And luckily, for me, I have people like Ross, Carson, Michelle, who are exciting and are like, let's bring it. And they always want to bring it.
Yeah.
They're never like, today is just a like t-shirt and sweater day. Are you no.
Well, you can't do that on a show like that.
That would never happen.
No.
So I'm lucky in that way, but I also do feel, like you said, I think that there are many times where they'll post pictures of the judging table to promote the show, and I look at it and I'm like, they all look really great together, and I'm proud of that because it's not something that just happens. It's something that takes thought. And Anyway, but thank you. I'm glad you know.
Yeah, even tonight's episode that's coming up with Daniel Francesi and Jonathan Bennett, and like everyone looks really good. Although everyone had a black color going on, and then poor Carson, it's just like pop a color. But it still works. It still works. I love it.
It all seems to work. And, at the end of the day, they all, you never really want the entire judging panel to be all black.
No. Yeah. So that pop works.
So we try to, like, mix it up a little bit.
Yeah. What are your favorite fashion moments from the show?
Wow. Um,
And it can be from anyone, from Rue, from the judges, the
I mean, there
contestants.
have been many things that Rue has worn. I think Rue one time wore a blue sequin jumpsuit. It was kind of almost
Hmm.
two pieces, but it didn't look like two pieces. And he wore these like
Hmm.
fingerless motorcycle gloves.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to dress in drag in pants. That sounds
Hmm.
crazy, but do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
to see a drag queen wearing a jumpsuit, it's really hard to pull it
Yeah.
off and make it look feminine and sexy and gorgeous. Anyway, that was one of my favorite looks, I think, of Rue's. Gosh, there have been so many. I mean, I always love from the girls, from the contestants, I always love the girls who are fashion and are glamorous, but have a sense of humor to
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
I think Raja was a perfect example of someone who
Oh.
is fashion, but it always had like tongue in cheek, like it was a little funny or it had something weird um, about it. And those are the
Hmm.
kind of girls that I love. Like I loved Valentina, but I think there's a lot of times she she didn't get the credit sometimes for being as kind of out there as she really is. Like when she literally
Yeah.
wore no clothes as Madonna in the Madonna challenge, as the
Oh yeah.
Madonna who stands on the stage with this. I was like, people are not giving. Like I was like, brava. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I know my friends who work in audio had the hardest time finding where to hide that mic. But and I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
But I love stuff like that. That is always. I think Michelle always looks fantastic, and
Yeah.
um, yeah, I mean, if she doesn't, then I don't let her go out there.
It's like, no, we're gonna try this again.
Yeah. There have been
Yeah.
many times. I think there's so many, and so many of our guests have come on with amazing looks.
Yeah.
Casey Musgraves, when she came on as a little cowgirl, I was like,
Uh-huh.
oh, yes, please. Yes,
So
please.
good.
I was obsessed.
Yeah.
Shania Twain, I think, had some really beautiful, she's Shania Twain. So every jacket was like YSL, Givenchy, Chanel, like it was very designer. And
Yeah.
I love it. I love that I mean, most people when they come to our show, it's either go big or go home.
Oh
And
yeah.
99.9% are going big.
Oh,
And they
I
get
just,
very
I just,
excited.
I just feel like with a show like Drag Race, like that is the time for you to play. That is the time for you to take a chance and take a risk and play like dress up because why not? Like it's such a show that allows
Well, and
so much.
you're sitting next to a man in a wig and heels, like if you can't have fun and you can't like where then go home because you have no personality. Like it's fun. It's fun. And a lot of people who come, we get a lot of guests who are very excited to be there, like Leslie Jones, like super
Yeah.
excited. We've had a few people that have come and have been scared. Literally like,
Yeah.
this is so overwhelming, like, because I've been a fan for so long and here I am now a judge sitting at like they get kind of deer in headlights at first.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
and
because it's easy at home to like look at the runway and go, oh yeah, no, I like that person. Oh, I didn't like that one. Oh girl, you should have did this. It's
yeah,
easy to do that from home. And then you get there and you're like, um, well,
yeah, right, yeah. And then you're like, and then they're like, so what do you think? And they're like, I thought it was great. Like, because a lot of them also don't really feel, excuse me, they don't feel like they should be criticizing these queens. So
yeah,
you know what I mean? And they don't want to come on and kind of go at these girls. That's why Michelle,
yeah,
I think, is that person. Michelle and Ross do it, I think, the most, where they are
yeah,
very accurate and upfront with a critique.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, a lot of people on our show, like a lot of people when they come, they're like, it's go big or go home. So
yeah,
it's a lot of fun when you're working with that mentality and coming from that place. The fashion always is gonna win. You know,
Yeah.
it's fashion and humor. That's what Drag Race really is at the end of the day. Fashion, humor, and love.
Exactly. Okay, so I want to play a fun little game with you, right?
Okay.
So, all right, so we all know of some very iconic looks that have hit the runway, but I want to know which queen do you think could pull off
Ooh.
some of these iconic looks?
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to show you a
All right.
look,
All right.
and then you
All
have to
right.
tell me which drag race queen could pull off this look. All right, I'm gonna try to do
Okay.
this through here because technology.
Okay.
We ain't got
Right.
like a graphics person to like insert graphics here and all that kind of stuff, so we're gonna have to be careful. Okay, so
Okay.
can you see
Oh,
this?
oh, okay. Oh, that's
This is
Rihanna.
Rihanna at the Met Gala 2015.
Oh,
Which queen do
okay.
you think would be able to pull this off?
Okay. Well, my first thought
Mhm.
is probably Manila.
Oh
I would
yes.
see Manila. I would see Manila rock this only because I've seen her rock some amazing yellow frocks.
Mm-hmm.
But I would also say that if we really wanted to be crazy, you know who I think that could pull this off with an amazing sense of humor would be Latrice. I think Latrice could, like,
Yeah.
large and in charge Latrice could take over the runway in that look.
Oh, I
For
love
sure.
that. Okay, let's try another one. Now,
Okay.
this is my girl. I loves me some
Okay.
Beyonce, but this is her at the 2015 Met Gala. Very nude illusion kind of tease. Who do you think could pull this look off?
Okay, I think my thought process goes probably either to someone like Valentina
Uh-huh.
or Trinity the Tuck, who I think
Yes.
could pull it off because they have that shape, the body. They have the confidence to wear something that is that sheer and not
Yeah.
give a shit, you know. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think that those are the two girls I think that could rock that.
Yeah. I agree with that. You know who else I thought? Brooklyn. Brooklyn Heights.
Yeah, Brooklyn for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
Brooklyn. That's a good one.
Okay. Now here's
Uh
another
oh.
here's another iconic one.
Okay.
This is Miss Bjork, the swan
Okay.
dress from the Academy Awards. Who do you think
Okay.
could be kooky enough to rock this?
You know who I think? Kind of going on what I said earlier. I think Raja could wear that. I think Raja would rock that and do it
Yeah,
in a way that would make it so fashion that people
yeah,
would gag. I do.
oh
I
yeah,
just think, and she has that playfulness to her spirit that kind of makes that. I think she could rock it better than Bjork personally, but
yeah.
I say Raja. That's my vote. I'm sticking to it.
I like that one. For some reason, I can also see Tammy Brown doing this, but that's
See,
because
exactly. Like someone who has a little bit of a sense of humor. She would make it a
yeah,
little more wacky,
yeah,
whereas Raja would make it a little more classy and
yeah.
fashion.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Tammy Brown would, I think, have a lot of fun with that look
Yeah,
for sure.
I love me some Tammy Brown. Okay, now here is the infamous
Uh-oh.
green Versace dress
Oh, I knew
worn
she
by
was coming.
J-Lo
Okay.
at the Grammy Awards. Who do you
I mean,
think?
isn't it obvious who could wear that? I feel like that's Roxy Andrews all day long.
Oh my God, yes.
I feel like
Yeah.
Roxy would kill that. I feel like, um, gosh, who else? There's so many. Courtney Act could wear that and make it really pretty.
Courtney Act would be a good one.
Morgan McMichaels, maybe. But my first
Yes.
thought is Roxy. My first thought is Roxy. She has that booty.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she loves her breastplate. She loves her breastplate. So
Listen,
that's my
which queen doesn't like a good breastplate? It
Those things are
accentuates
heavy.
your outfit.
Have you ever had
But
one on?
I
Go
haven't
ahead.
had one on, but I've seen queens with them on, and I'm like, I don't even understand how you're moving at this moment.
They're heavy because they're not
Yeah,
hollow. They are
yeah,
actually fully formed, heavy breasts.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I had a little drag persona at Drag Race, and they put one on me once.
oh,
Yeah.
what was
I
the
got
name
to.
of your drag persona?
Oh God, no, I can't, because it'll get out
What's
there. It'll get
you
out
mentioned
there.
what's the name? What's the name, Art? You got it. Everyone has a drag
Well,
persona.
I had
What's the
this
name?
really awful wig on, and I had these large busts, and I wore something from Michelle. And for some reason, when I had it on, I was laughing, and I started to snort. And my friend said, "You snort? You're snorting like a pig." So anyway, I became Wiglet Piglet. That was my name, Wiglet Piglet. And yeah, I got to lip sync in front of Rue.
Oh, I feel like
That
that's
was
everyone's dream to like be able to lip sync
until you
in front of.
no, not until you do it. Like you are, it's probably one of the scariest things because you are literally standing there and all you see are those judges and all they're doing is looking right at you.
Yeah,
And I mean, it was exhilarating, but like after I did it, I literally had to like, like I
yeah,
was out of breath and I was overwhelmed. And it's one of those things that you think you're like, I'm gonna get up there and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna twirl. And you get up there and you're like, and I was like just doing it just for fun. So I can't
yeah,
imagine doing it where you think your life is on the line, so to speak. So anyway,
yeah.
but let's go back to the dresses. Where were we at?
I'll give you
We
the
still
next one,
got.
and then
Are there more dresses for me?
I do, and I'll tell you this at the same time. So you remember at the finale when they would pick people to lip sync
Yeah.
in front of Ru just to get crowd reactions? I always secretly used to wish they would pick me. I never got picked, but I wanted to do it so bad.
I mean, the dream is still alive. Try it this year. Who knows what's going to happen, but you never know. That's what they do at the show a lot of times is they will, for audio purposes, to get the sound levels right of the song and stuff, they will
Yeah.
ask people from the crew to lip sync.
Oh, I'd
And
be like, sign me up.
I would always be like, well, sometimes for me, I was like, I don't like the song. So I'd be like, what's the song today? And they would tell me what the song was. And I'd be like,
Mhm.
okay, that I can do. And then the whole day I'd be spending my time thinking like, okay, so that, like I said, like I'm going to do this and then I'm going to do that. But at the end of the day, you look out and you just see Ruth sitting there like, and Michelle, and they're just all, you feel like yeah, it was crazy. And I lip synced against another crew member who went way over the top, was pulling Rue dollars out of his bra, and he was wearing heels that didn't fit him and falling down. And I was like, I gotta stay focused.
Yeah,
Anyway.
yeah. All right, so here's another iconic look from
Yes.
Cher herself, the headdress and culture look from Cher from the Academy Awards. Now, of course, our first thought is Chad Michaels because
Chad Michaels.
he did it. But who else do you think could pull off this look?
Oh, Detox in a minute.
Oh my
Detox
God,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. Oh, she would totally rock.
Detox has that body and has that attitude. It's
Yeah,
all about the attitude. I think
yeah,
Detox could do that. I think, yeah, I mean, that's kind of who I think would rock that the hardest.
yeah.
Is
Agreed.
Detox.
That's a good one. And Detox has always been very fashionable. I'll never forget her season when she came in the gray.
Oh,
Like she had the gray face, and I was like, "Oh, girl, okay, sold."
well, she did the whole thing. She made her whole look colorless. And
Yeah,
I was like, the thought and the commitment and the dedication to that look was on another level. It's just on another
oh,
level.
for sure.
you know, just in the way you think. It's just on another level.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, one more. This is the last one.
Okay.
It is from the VMAs, Miss
Oh
Lady
gosh.
Gaga, and
Oh,
the
the infamous
infamous
meat
meat dress.
dress.
Yeah.
Mm. Wow. Okay. Who do I think could rock that as one of the queens?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think maybe Alaska. Would Alaska rock that? Maybe in a kind
Yeah,
of comedic way. Maybe.
yeah. I can see
Um,
Alaska doing this.
I think a Yara Sofia. Do you remember Yara Sofia?
Oh, of course. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think Yara Sofia could rock the meat dress and be crazy and funny in it and make it,
Hmm.
you know, fun.
Yeah.
I guess those are my votes. Why did you? Who
Yeah.
did you think? Who did you think initially?
You know, Katya.
Well, she would do it too. She would do it in a
Yeah.
great. She could do a lot of those. To be honest, she
She
can do a lot of those looks that you showed us. And
she would do it, but I feel like she would add to it. Like there would be some like she wouldn't just wear the meat
yeah,
dress. Like I feel like it would be a whole
yeah,
thing with Katya.
it'd be a story. There'd be a story. There'd be like meat cleavers and yeah, it'd be a story,
We
which
got
is
guys
great.
dressed as butchers, all that.
Yeah, there'd be something crazy with Katya. Yeah, for sure.
Oh my gosh. Well, Art, I really appreciate you logging on here and chit-chatting with
Of
me. And
course.
like, I feel like I've learned a lot. Like, because we normally just talk like in passing, but I've never gotten a chance to like really talk about your experience and what you do and stuff like that. So this has been fun for me.
Well, thank you. I mean, this is fun, and
Cool.
this is such a wonderful, I think, opportunity for you. But like, what a great thing to be able to do on my Friday afternoon. You know, this is
Listen,
this was a lot of fun. You know, oops, sorry.
yeah. I mean, what else can we do? We're in quarantine.
I hope that
Oh no, it's fine.
yeah, for
I
real.
mean, there's nothing else we can
There's
do.
only
Like
so
right
much
now,
90
it's
Day
Friday.
Fiance I can watch.
Huh?
I said there's only so much 90 Day Fiance that I can watch on TLC. I mean, I just can't. Anyway, but thank you for doing this. This was fun.
Of course, of course. Thank you so
Very
much. I
good
appreciate
question.
you. Thank you. Well,
Yep.
I'm a journalist sometimes. Well, now
This
I'm
was
excited to
awesome.
watch. Excited to watch the show tonight to see like les fashions that are gonna happen.
I mean, it's probably I think the most fashionable show on television if you really ask me, fashion wise.
Oh no,
And
I agree.
yeah. And to know
Yeah.
that like most of that comes from things that people have just dreamt up in their head.
Hmm.
Um, the many costume designers and stylists and things that have over the years helped these girls, you know,
It's good, and
be who they
it's
are.
so influential too, because so many people get influenced by the things that they see on Drag Race. So
For sure, I think if anything, it has just elevated the art form of drag, and I think that
mm,
now just putting on a dress and heels is not enough for
no,
and so I think it's really made it's changed the drag landscape, and it's changed the gay culture landscape. It's changed American landscape. I mean, the fact that this show is now going on in England, it's now going on in Thailand. And I feel like it's just one of those things that, I mean, who wouldn't want to watch Drag Race in Australia or Drag Race
yeah,
in, you know, so it's permeated every part of what we do and say and think.
yeah,
So, and
yeah.
fashion is a huge part of it. It's a
Oh my
huge
God,
part of it.
it's everything. I mean, it's influenced by so much in pop culture. Like, of course, it's a huge thing and a huge thing, a part of the show. And you make everyone look good.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I
Cool.
love those kids. I love them. But thanks for
Cool.
calling me, and thanks
Well,
for
thank
making this
you.
all happen.
Of course, and have fun. And hopefully I will see you soon.
Hopefully. Out and
Yes.
about. Out and about.
Yes.
Thanks, Joe. Talk to you soon.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. Bye, Art.
Bye. Bye.
Oh yes, I loved it. I love talking styling and fashion with Art. Like he's such a great guy and so amazing. And you guys have to tune in to RuPaul's Drag Race and see what he does. And along with all the other stuff that he does, he's done tours and TV shows and everything. So please make sure you give him a shout. Go to his Instagram at Art Conn. That's with two N's, the number two, and support him. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. And I'll be back here live in an hour with Daniel Francesi, who you guys know from Mean Girls, but also he's a guest judge on RuPaul's Drag Race tonight. And so we're going to try to get as much out of him as we can. See you guys back in an hour. Thanks for watching. Bye.